Welcome. The title of our news editions tonight are: the head of state chaired the fourth session of the Council of Ministers today. On continental news, Moscow in turn withdraw from the UNF treaty. Welcome. The President held today a Council of Ministers where several projects were adopted. For more details, let's follow the spokesman of the government.
Rahman Rahim, sous la présidence du chef de l'État, Son Excellence M. Ismail Omar Guelleh, s'est tenu.
Concerning the first bill approved for the Ministry of Justice in charge of human rights, in the preliminary project, it will be implemented by the citizens of the diaspora community as well as the members of the organization as representative of the public and private sectors. It defines for each of these courts the amounts for which they judge at first and last instance. First and ultimate decisions are not subject to appeal. The appeal against these decisions is to the Supreme Court. The objective is to relieve the Court of Appeal and to avoid systematic or even abusive recourse for citizens. The adoption of this project will provide citizens with justice that is fast, effective, and accessible. For the Ministry of Energy in charge of natural resources, the second issue discussed is related to a draft decree on the terms and conditions of application of the mandatory and periodic energy audit in the Republic of Djibouti. The mandatory energy audit is part of the government energy strategy, which aims to reduce energy needs by improving the efficiency of consumption in context of heavy dependence from outside. It encouraged optimization of energy resource and makes the energy audit mandatory from a certain threshold of consumption. The data collected during these audits will identify energy-saving deposits. The purpose of the draft decree is to define the methods of application of the compulsory and periodic audits, particularly its content, its methods of producing and representing the results. This project provides specifications including energy efficiency standards and monitors the conditions for the implementation of the energy audit by the auditors and the bodies subject to the audit obligation. This project is part of the strategy to reduce the energy demands of our country. Third question, related to a draft order on the energy efficiency of public lighting. In the context of energy efficiency, the government has undertaken measures to save energy, especially on the bill of public lighting. Public lighting managers are responsible for adopting good practices to improve the energy performance of public lighting. It is within this framework that this draft decree is planned and specifies the technical specificities to have a public lighting with controlled energy consumption and impact least harmful to the natural biodiversity. The objectives of this project is on the one hand to achieve energy savings and on the other hand to ensure modern public lighting efficiency with minimal environmental impact. The fourth subject discussed is related to a draft decree on the organization and functioning of ministry delegate to the Ministry of Economy and Finance in charge of trade, SMEs, crafts, tourism, and formalization. The Ministry Delegate for Trade is responsible for the design, development, coordination, monitoring, and evaluation of the implementation of government's policy in the field of internal and external trade, the promotion of SMEs, and the formalization, development of tourism and crafts. This draft decree implementing law number 55 specifies the rules of organization and operation of the various departments and services and reinforces the existing structures with the aim of greater efficiency action, aims to set up the most appropriate organization of this department and complete its institutional system in order to achieve the objective assigned to it. For the Ministry of Budget, the fifth question was a bill allocating a parcel of land for the benefits of the Container Terminal Management Company of Doraole. Sixth question is related to a bill allocating a parcel of land to the State Secretariat for Social Affairs. The Ministry of Budget presented two draft decrees. The purpose of the first draft is to allocate for the benefits of the Dorali Container Terminal Management Company a 15,000 square meter parcel of land in Balbalas on the Dorali Road. This parcel of land is intended for the implementation of a project to extend the container terminal. The second draft concerned the allocation to the State Secretariat for Social Affairs of a plot of land of 8,105 square meters in Balbala Pika Trace. This parcel of land is intended for the implementation of hangars for storing foodstuff. Seventh question. Concern a draft decree appointment of the Ministry of Equipment and Transport. Mrs. Rahima Ahmed Musa is appointed Director of the Central Laboratory of Building and Equipment. Mr. Souban Saeed Ismail, Director General of Djiboutian Agency of Roads. Mr. Mahmoud Musa Ahmed, Technical Advisor to the Minister of Equipment and Transport. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, spokesperson of the government, reported on his participation in the 40th Economy and Social Summit of the Arab League and the first meeting of African Union and European Union foreign ministers. It was held in Beirut on 20th January 2019 and in Brussels from 21 to 22 January 2019 respectively. He also reported on the 15th Joint Djibouti-Ethiopia Ministerial Commission held on January 30, 2019 in our country. The Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources reported on his participation in the 90th General Assembly of the International Renewable Energy Agency, held from 11 to 13 January 2019 in Abu Dhabi.
The Open Doors Day, organized by the platform of the Unique Window, that opened yesterday, closed today this morning with the participation of several officials.
Open Day, organized by the Single Window platform, opened yesterday, closed with the participation of several officials. This Open Day is organized by the Minister in charge of investment. The ANPI and the Single Window partners are mainly aimed at contributing to the popularization of the reforms undertaken to improve the business climate that cultivates around the single window. Indeed, the one-stop shop is an important lever for business and investment promotion. Economic operators carry out all the procedure and formalities they are required to do in one place at the lowest cost and in the least amount of time. This closing ceremony was crowned by several interventions of the officials. The Director General of the Center for Technology and Innovation for Development welcomed the existence of this window.
CTID est une structure d'accompagnement des porteurs de projets, comme vous le savez.
Representative of 15 state institutions officiate in this guichet unique and provide synchronized services to entrepreneurs. Several partners indicated that they remain appreciative of the progress made.
En ma qualité de présidente du comité de suivi de la plateforme du guichet unique,
the President of Chamber of Commerce of Djibouti thanked for its part all the actors, partners and entrepreneurs who contribute to the influence of this window.
Je suis toujours émerveillé que d'autant de talents puissent être cachés.
Finally, it should be noted that since its inauguration in March 2017 by the President of the Republic, the single window has registered 1,919 companies or 699 companies in 2017 and 1,220 others in 2018.
The single window is an important place where promote the businesses and investment of our country.
Several Djiboutian entrepreneurs, including women, participated in this day. Women entrepreneurs of commercial companies who came to exhibit their know-how on the occasion of this event. They work in industry, construction, agriculture, shoe manufacturing. In short, they affect everything. This day also saw several young entrepreneurs present and marked their products. The president of the Young Entrepreneur Club has just spoken at the Durban.
Les guichets uniques qui représentent vraiment
un endroit qui est très important pour tous.
These open days are also attended to promote dialogue between users and partners institutions of this guichet unique. Entrepreneur Khadija Ahmed Barkat said these days are an opportunity to put youth and women's entrepreneurship at the forefront of the debate, and this to embed mechanism and facility initiated by the government to allow the development of the sector, which is the real engine of the economy and a major level of growth and wealth creation.
Et c'est depuis 4 mois, nous travaillons sur la sensibilisation.
Several women who previously worked in the civil service are now working in the private sector, creating their own business, as is the case of Chukri Abdullahi, former High Executive of the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce. Lastly, these open doors days allowed the public, both national and foreign, to gather information on business and investment opportunities, and thus better understand the mission of the National Agency for the Promotion of Investment. This in its capacity as a implementing body of government policy in the area of development, investment, promotion and improvement of the business climate in Djibouti.
After being chosen as the head of the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry for 2 years, in a press conference, the president of the Chamber of Commerce of Djibouti, Mr. Yusuf Moussa Dawali, explained to us the main missions of the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He said that the African Chamber of Commerce is a place that has been very active and even more so in recent years because it played an expert advisory role in the preparation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement, the establishment of a public-private partnership to improve trade and investment at the continental level. The objectives are to promote and support the economic well-being of Africa, enterprise, improve and stimulate intra-African trade for its investment actively, contribute to the realizations of a continental free trade area, advance that free trade area continent, which is very important. The National Disability Agency of Djibouti had the great pleasure to welcome this morning in its office the ambassador of the country, friend and brother Japan. This is the first courtesy visit of a representative from a country with whom the Republic of Djibouti has had special and privileged links for 40 years. This visit is part of the National Agency of Disability for the protections and promotion of the rights of persons with disabilities in Djibouti. Several points were discussed, including technical and vocational training and adapt for people with disabilities, technical assistance or expertise in the care of people with disability. Among other, the Japan, the host country of the next Summer Olympic Game in 2020, also integrate the issues of disabilities and the development of people with disability in sport and through others events. Also organized at the same time, authority in the city of Minamisoma unveiled a monument to commemorate the generosity of the people of Djibouti during the triple hit quake at the occurred on March 2011 in Toko. A host of guests attended the event, including the ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to China, Mr. Ahmed Arreita, and his wife. The city of Minamisoma was hit hard by the war disaster in its story. And now let's move on continental news. The price of North Sea Brent reached $63.03 per barrel, the highest level recorded in 2 months. Subsequently, the price of barrel of Brent fell to $54.30 7 hours later. In fact, the decline in production decided last December by OPEC in concert with allies such as Russia, in addition to the reductions of Venezuela production. Some doubt about the availability of black gold. U.S. sanctions against Venezuela, in addition to reductions measures taken by the OPEC and its allies, also impact the oil market. Here we arrive at the end of this news edition. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.